Spring cleaning. Let's talk spring cleaning and your body and some of the things that I've just incorporated and become patterns in the spring that help set me up for success all year long. Most important thing though, I want to share with you my new cup. It's a Simply Modern. Did I need a new cup? No. But many of you are aware that 25 years ago I had a surgery, and that's where my health crashed, was that failed surgery. And one of the issues was I have Melissa syndrome, which is an allergic reaction to titanium, and some of the stainless steel cups are showing that they have some slight issues on them. This is a Simply Modern ceramic coated cup. Now, was it making me have seizures again like I used to? No, but it was stressing me out every time I picked the cup up. And so, for my peace of mind, I'm really enjoying it. And the other thing I love, it is leak proof. So when I pop that little lid, right there, as you can see on my lipstick, nothing comes out. So this was my new spring cup. Spring is a time for me that I focus on bio, and I focus on setting my body up for success, not to have parasites. Now, I have had mass parasitic infestation in the past. It's not the most wonderful, glorious thing to talk about. It is important if you're not seeing the benefits of all the things that you're doing to get healthy and you're not experiencing health. So let's talk about the role that magnesium and desiccated liver. Now, this is an old label. I stock up on supplements, and so I'm still using some of our older batch of desiccated liver. These go hand in hand. They create synergy. When you add desiccated liver that has been processed slowly, that's the key. Processed slowly, the copper core stays intact. That copper core moves stored iron out of your muscles and in your body. If you've ever been diagnosed with anemia, you've probably got a stored iron issue. If you have ever had low energy and the things that you're doing just aren't increasing your energy levels, that could be a stored iron. If you have hormone issues, that could be a stored iron. If you have histamine issues, that could be a stored iron. If you have brain fog, that could be a stored iron. If you don't sleep well, that could be a stored iron. Do you see a pattern here? Stored iron takes everything down and it stresses our body out. And setting ourselves up for optimal health is about walking away from things that stress our body out. It's one of the reasons that when I'm soaking, I'm always pairing it with desiccated liver. Now, the downside of desiccated liver is it takes a lot of hydrochloric acid to digest it. It's a superfood. It is loaded with so many nutrients other than the iron that we typically think of. Now, the desiccated liver that I carry at Living the Good Life Naturally has a strong copper core. The only way you get that is if it's processed slowly. And so we're making sure that we've got that copper core that's naturally found in the liver that's done correctly, because that's what moves the stored iron. And if you're soaking in magnesium and you're not getting the benefits, or you're having to soak all of the time, hand in hand, peanut butter and jelly. Well, not peanut butter, because most peanut butter feeds parasites. It is the perfect food for parasites. So I shouldn't have used that analogy. But the desiccated liver is going to move that stored iron out, helping your body hold on to magnesium more efficiently. Another thing that I see happening as women add desiccated liver is vitamin D levels that they could never get to move start to change. And it's typically, not always, and remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing, I'm not telling you what to do. You and I are just having conversations about what we can do to improve our health and maintain our health. And a lot of times, people, no matter what they're doing, just can't get their vitamin D levels to move. And we all know now how important vitamin D is, and stored iron is an issue, meaning we've got the iron, but it's in the wrong place. And a strong copper core and desiccated liver will help move that iron. And it's part of the reason why you get an energy boost. I cannot take this at night. I would lay there awake all night long. I always take this in the morning. This is my morning superfood. It's got whole food vitamin D, whole food vitamin A. Our bodies utilize that in the morning. So this is one I always take in the morning. But an email that I will get from people, okay, just found leftover tape on my desk from taping my drawers to move it in. Adding the Oh, we've got some comments here. Let me pop over. Oh, maybe those are Shelly. Yeah. Okay. Adding the desiccated liver, and if you don't have strong hydrochloric acid profile, you'll bloat, you'll burp, um, you'll have gas, and I want my body having enough hydrochloric acid to break down superfoods, even if there's a lot of nutrients. The more nutrients there are, the more hydrochloric acid you need to break that down. And the other thing about making sure that you've got strong hydrochloric acid is that helps boost and benefit breaking the cycle of parasites. And when we've got stored iron, coming back to the desiccated liver, when we have stored iron, parasites feed on the stored iron. That's why I take desiccated liver, because the strong copper core moves the stored iron, taking the food away that the parasites were feeding on. And the cycle is, though, that you'll hear that, you'll take the desiccated liver. If you have a larger parasitic infestation, you won't have good hydrochloric acid, meaning you'll take this, you'll start to burp or belch and bloat, and then you'll be like, oh, I'm not taking that anymore. But it's literally the parasites dictating what they want instead of you dictating what you want. And that still kind of sounds crazy to me. It's real, and it is something that we don't realize until you've gotten on top of that parasitic balance. You don't realize how much the parasites dictate your cravings and the things that you eat or don't eat. A lot of people who crave peanut butter, it's actually parasites craving peanut butter, because you've got issues on the peanuts, and you've got rancid oils and sugar, three perfect foods to come together to feed parasites. And making sure, if you are having issues when you're taking the desiccated liver, let's get in there and do some detective work so that we can increase our hydrochloric acid, so that we can add the desiccated liver with the magnesium so that we're moving the parasite out. And spring is the best time to work on that. It's the easiest, it's the most seasonal, the most natural flow. And the other thing is adding when we're focused on parasites, with the phases of the moon. What do you think? Talk to me about that. This could bring up some people rolling their eyes and some people leaning in. I'd love to know what you think about that. Here's why the parasites and the cycle of the moon go hand in hand. It used to be old wives' tale that you would plant on the full moon. But now science is advanced and they understand that that old wives' tale was rooted in solid science because the moths and are flying differently because of the pull of water and the pull of the moon. And so the predatory insects are stronger on the full moon, meaning a greater survival for the plant. Like, serious? Well, and that moon also determines and dictates things that happen in our body. And so, really timing that with the moon, making sure that you're getting those things that set your body up for success because stored iron. Parasites feed on stored iron. And most people who have been diagnosed being anemic, it's not as much as they're not getting enough iron, but they don't have access to enough iron in their body. And so adding a good whole food supplement that's been processed correctly, grass-fed, grass-finished, processed slowly, the trifecta of benefits are what helped me finally to be able to stop doing parasite cleanses all the time. And I just focus on them one time of year. I set it up strongly. That gets me through the whole year, where I was having to do parasite cleanse after parasite cleanse because I didn't understand the role that of stored iron. That stored iron in my muscles, the parasites were just feeding on. And I never would have gotten rid of them, meaning that I was constantly doing time consuming, expensive cleanses to stay on top of it. And I'm going to say this, I'm lazy. I do not want to take that much time and energy. So I guess not lazy. I'm just choosing where I put my energy points. And I don't want to put my energy points in having to do something over and over and over and over and over. I have no problem in the spring focusing on resetting my digestive tract and making sure that I'm adding those things that will make it easy for my body to naturally be balanced versus that cycle of constantly having to do parasitic cleanses. Okay, oh, just tuned in. Mind repeating the topic you're discussing. So, um, we are talking the role that magnesium plays holding on to your magnesium, and some people struggling with that. And the key to success to that is adding desiccated liver. The two go hand in hand. And then I kind of squirreled on some parasite stuff because that's what I'm working on right now. And I always, as I was reading through, as I'm unpacking boxes and putting journals away, I was reading through some of my old journals and I realized, oh, I do this every spring. Maybe somebody else will want to put that natural rhythm into their life and not have to do expensive parasite cleanses over and over. So my intent was not to end up on parasites, but that's where we ended up on. Oh, you're so kind. JL Mackery 613. You're so kind. I I am convinced that, and I want to be a part of helping women feel better because when you do, they change the world. They immediately start lifting people around them. And women who feel good are more aware of things going on around them. And children need us being aware of what's happening so that we're there for them wholeheartedly and we change the trajectory of their lives. And I want to be a part of that, which squirreled me to another topic. Ooh, you guys are amazing. One of the things I added to the website ever since I became aware of Little Lambs, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago? Oh, long time ago. I have done everything I can in the company and personally to help support the Little Lambs Foundation. He focuses on foster children and making sure that if people are having a hard time, that he's stepping in and helping. That Ted and the Little Lambs Foundation is inspiring. I can get emotional over it. It just absolutely inspiring what he does. And so I'm always wanting to do whatever I can. And one of the things, I had someone reach out because I'd commented on something that the company had done just to try to give Ted some more support for the work that he does. And they said, Kristen, I didn't know that you did things like that. And I do. And that's my passion. And I realized there might, and she said, I want to help. I want to be a part of that. And so I went to my IT department and said, hey, can we set it up so that when people check out, if they want to, you don't have to, it's if you want to, you can add $1. And that goes directly every week on Thursday. Shelly and I do a little dance and we say, okay, how many people wanted to help Ted? And we send that over to him through PayPal. And I want to express my gratitude to those of you that have added that $1 to your order. On Thursdays, we now send that over. And what Ted does with that money is to make a difference in the lives of families, specifically focusing on children. And that's my focus also in a different way than how Ted does it. But I love meeting those people that are passionate and recognize that when we lift each other, it lifts ourselves also. And I just love being a part of that. And so a huge thank you. And for those of you that maybe didn't notice it, it's just a little checkbox that comes up on the shopping cart and you click it and it adds $1 to your total. And then I take that $1 every Thursday and I send it over to Ted. And then he uses it in whatever way he deems necessary, and the Little Lambs Foundation. The beautiful thing is 100% of that donation goes to support children. Oh, so exciting to me. So that was wonderful. Gingericious, is that how you say that? Gingericious, yeah, gingericious, I think is how you say that. Do you take it with food or without? I like to take it with, where did it go? I like to take it with food, and not just specifically any food, but food that has a little bit of fat, because there are water-soluble vitamins and water and fat-soluble vitamins in desiccated liver. You're getting both. And so when you take it with a little bit of fat, the vitamin D and the vitamin A are more absorbable and also help boost the copper. And remember, the copper is the star of the desiccated liver, because the copper is moving stored iron, moving that stored iron. And anytime we have stored iron, it's stressing out our adrenals. And so imagine if you have stored iron and you don't have voltage, the shape your adrenals are in. No wonder we're walking around tired. And so making sure we have voltage, magnesium, potassium, salt, and focused on adding things that will help our bodies naturally move out that stored iron becomes incredibly important. Oh, I love that. Shelley, thank you for posting that link. Shelley went ahead and posted that link for us. AJ, this is a great question. So are you saying that we should add the liver supplement instead of doing a parasite cleanse? I'm saying that I have never, of all the parasite cleanses I have done and purchased, and I've paid thousands for some of them, I have never found a parasite cleanse that sets your body up so you don't have to redo the cleanse in 8 weeks or 12 weeks. And that's ridiculous and a waste of my time and money. And so my goal is in the spring, I set my body up that my body naturally is taking care of parasites in its own natural rhythm versus doing a parasite cleanse. Now, will I add some things? Absolutely, I will. But the most important thing is setting my body up so I don't have to spend all the time, energy, and money to do it again and again and again for it to be successful. And so today, that's what I get. I guess that's what my focus is helping you set your body up in a way that if you do opt to do a parasite cleanse, that you won't have to redo it and redo it. Now, I will add some things. I'll add some specific herbs and different items, but it's very different than the parasite cleanses that I used to do. And it's been much more successful for me, much easier, and way less expensive. So for me, it's a great fit on that. Okay. Oh, Susanna, fatty liver, which is from metabolic disease. Okay, Susanna, first off, I want to make sure that you understand that I'm not playing or pretending to be a doctor. I also had fatty liver, and typically, 30 years ago, when somebody said I have fatty liver, alcoholism went hand in hand. Now, people are experiencing fatty liver because of glucose and metabolic syndrome and different things like that. And so I want that's where the magnesium morning trifecta came in, because I was really struggling getting my liver to be where it needed to be. And that magnesium morning trifecta, early morning sunshine, walking, soaking in magnesium, are the driving force to set a strong foundation for healing to happen when it comes to liver. There's just nothing more powerful than the basics. And I had chased so many things. And magnesium morning trifecta, the synergy of those three things, reducing inflammation with the early morning sun, walking to walk away from metabolic syndrome and get that process working as it should, soaking in magnesium, is the trifecta of bringing your foundation together for that. Oh, and Shelly's so on top of it. She just posted a link to unlocking the power of the magnesium morning trifecta. Thank you, Shelly. Oh, AJ, yeah, those parasite cleanses can be brutal. I'm grateful. I'm really glad I went through them though, because I learned so much. And I ran group parasite cleanses for years and years. And because of that, was able to learn so much from the women who went through them with me and shared their experience, because that's such a powerful way to pick up patterns, and literally what helped me fine tune what I do now because of the different patterns that I saw. And AJ, the most powerful tool that you have with parasites is the power of your voice. And those parasite cleanses is where I learned that. I would see women doing all of the things, the food, the supplements, all those things, but they weren't connected to the power of their voice, therefore weakening their digestion. We talked a little bit about this on Monday. It's just setting yourself up becomes so incredibly important if you're like me and don't want to redo a cleanse, redo a cleanse, redo a cleanse, redo a cleanse. I don't want to waste my time on that and my money. I don't want to do that. And those group cleanses that I did, really helped me fine tune the philosophy that I do now. WH Teagle, where you order from livingthegoodlifenaturally.com. Shelley has so graciously posted links in the comment section that you can go to and click on those. And that's my website, living. I want to be very clear on that. I'm a control freak and got tired of putting corporations in charge of the things I was using for my health and then changing it to increase profit margin. And so I realized I'm embracing my inner control freak and I want to be in charge of the supply chain. And that's Living the Good Life Naturally was founded from that over 25 years ago. And because I don't want other people in charge of the supply chain. Once you've lost your health, and I've been working on my story, like telling it in a way that doesn't take forever, and so that people understand my passion. And so I've been thinking a lot about that time period. There is no amount of money or anything that can replace what was lost when I crashed for that 3.5 years with my family. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And that's what drives me, is that I don't want to waste my days trying all the things to be healthy. I want to take actionable steps that are small, that give me great benefit, because time is precious. The time we have with people that we love is precious, and we don't get tomorrow back. We have to make the best of today, in the moment, what we have. And that's what drives me. That drives me because I'll never get that time back. Those memories with my kids, my youngest especially, she was just learning how to talk and walk, and I have no memory of that. None. I have things that other people have told me, but none of them are mine, for mine. And that's what drives the supply chain and the company. And that's what drives me. That's why I show up on social media on days like today that I don't really feel like I have it together during this move, is because I want to connect with women and remind them that imperfect action creates and helps you create and maintain optimal health. Because when you feel good, you're more connected to the people around you. So, Lizzie, thank you so much for sharing your love of the products that I carry. It is a double-edged sword to be so passionate about the products, because it is a little part of me, it feels like sometimes. Excuse me. It is a little part of me because of the work that goes into sourcing and the money lost when I get things that I won't. The new labels, this is the old label. The new labels have a KB approved, and that means something to me. And I want products that aren't just a fad or a trend, but support the foundation. When we support the foundation of our health, it becomes easier, and we don't chase, we attract. When we're chasing trends, not that we don't want to be aware of new things happening, absolutely we do, but chasing trends is exhausting, and you tend to leak time, energy, and money, and I don't want to do that. Oh, thank you. Sorry, in fact, I said to Shelley this morning, I don't know if I should go on. My emotions have been kind of all over the place. Yeah. Oh, Denise, you're very kind. Thank you. Thank you. I oh yeah, AJ, chasing things is such a desperate place to be. Oh no, I should say this. It was a desperate place for me to be. And I put my family in a desperate place. Did you know that as women, that gut function of the people you love that you sit at the table with matches yours? It'll attune right to it. And so if we're in a desperate place, searching and frustrated, means those people around us are feeling that desperation, experiencing and living that desperation and frustration. And I want to break that cycle. I want to be a part of breaking that cycle and reminding myself, because I can step into that. I can step into that. And by being here together, you and I, and hopefully you're okay with me showing up on the imperfect days like today, that, yeah. But we remind each other that we are powerful. And when we take that power and we build a foundation versus desperation, chasing this and then adding that and this and that, but we build that foundation. In that moment, that's when we're lifting people around us. That's when we're holding our own potential, which more easily helps us to hold their potential. And there's hard things happening out there. I have friends going through unimaginable heartache. We have to hold each other's potential. And to do that, we have to feel good. Your health touches everything, every single thing, every connection, anything that you're doing, your health touches. And so building that strong foundation became my passion and why I show up on Mondays and Wednesdays. Oh, I don't mean to be such a downer. I don't mean to be such a downer. Going over my story and kind of fine tuning that, and just brought back some things that need some healing. Okay. Oh, Mary, you're so kind. You went to Morro Bay? Oh, oh, you went to Morro Bay. Oh my goodness. My home is no longer in Morro Bay. A part of my heart will always be in Morro Bay. In fact, we're starting, we're getting our art up on the wall. I was trying to hide that ugly thing right there. So I threw that piece of art in the background. But one of the pieces of art that I pulled out, I thrifted that at the Goodwill bins for like 50 cents, and I love it. And yesterday I found a beautiful piece also for like $1. One of the pieces that was not a deal, I paid big time for it. It's a picture of the pier there in Cayucas because it was such a place of healing for me. And it's the most beautiful picture of the pier. In fact, I might put it up here. It might be too long, but it's a beautiful picture of the pier in Cayucas and the sun coming up and just reminding me how powerful that early morning sunshine is to reduce inflammation. When we reduce inflammation, we reduce stress on our body. Stored iron feeds parasites, stresses out our hormones, changes our sleep, changes our thyroid function, tanks autoimmune, and makes autoimmune harder to heal from and worse. Adding desiccated liver, they go hand in hand. They just go hand in hand and help move that stored iron. And when we add that magnesium morning trifecta, that beautiful sun that comes up wherever we are, whether it be Morro Bay or Sugar House, the sunshine coming up helps reduce that inflammation. And when we get that strong copper core in a desiccated liver that's been processed correctly, then it makes it easier for our body to have that strong foundation. Oh, Shelley's also added. Oh, you're so kind. Love back to you. Love back to you. Um, Shelley also added the link. I had talked about changing. I do a monthly class, it's free, and a little bit more. I get to see your face on video instead of this where I'm like talking into a camera. I get to see your face, and I do it once a month. And ish, if like during this move time and I had to change it, cancel it, but typically it happens the first Monday of the month. I talked about changing it, but I'm not going to. Monday ended up being a good day for it. And so the first Monday of the month, so April's is coming up. I did not do March's. Yeah, I didn't do March. But April's is coming up. I would love for you to be on that class. Even if you can't make the class live, the recording is sent out of that class. And it is one of my favorite things that I do in the company. And I'd love to invite you to be a part of that. And Shelley has added, the link to join that. I don't post it on social media. The only place you can get that is the email newsletter. And if you'd like to be a part of that, you can't sign up for it the day of because it takes a while for the pieces to connect for you to get the link. So if you're not a part of that and you're wanting to join that now. Oh, Donna, thank you. Thank you for your kind words. My concern was with a little bit of emotions I've been experiencing today that I would be a downer, and I never want to do that. And so thank you for your kind words. I so appreciate it. With the increased stress levels of what people are experiencing, our magnesium burn rate is up. We need to be soaking to offset that stress. I want to help your soaking time be as effective and beneficial as possible. So you're soaking the least amount of time for the most benefit. Adding desiccated liver supports soaking so that you don't have to soak as often. Plus, it moves stored iron. Plus, you're getting choline and lysine. There's so many more benefits in the liver. Today, my focus was helping you understand that when you get the strong copper core in whole food form, it naturally moves that stored iron. And if you've ever been anemic, stored iron goes hand in hand with that. If you have autoimmune, stored iron goes hand in hand with that. If you're having menopause issues, stored iron goes hand in hand with that. And this is a product I don't always have on hand because if it doesn't meet the standard, I don't carry it. Right now I have some. The label is different. This is the older bottles that I'm still using for my own personal stash. So the label's a little bit different, but I don't always have it. And this is one that I stock up on because I know personally from being sourcing it how hard it is to get my hands on. Grass-fed, grass-finished, processed properly, clean, strong copper core is my goal. And this meets the bill. And so it's on the website, livingthegoodlifenaturally.com. And the B vitamin, the B12 that's naturally occurring in the desiccated liver also helps offset stress and helps you hold on to the magnesium. So in fact, maybe is what we should do. We should create a little bundle that this is in the bundle. I bet Shelley could help me do that. That would be a good thing. So you could just click it once and get both of those. I'll look into that. I'll talk to Megan at the warehouse, and I'll talk to Emily at shipping, and I'll talk to Shelley who puts that kind of stuff together and see if that's something that we could do. I think that would be a good thing because they support each other, and using this makes it use less of this, and using this helps you tap into and open up and be more receptive for the nutrients here with the vitamin D and the vitamin A, which support the liver. And did you know if you don't have enough vitamin A, there's a line in your liver that just stays open for constant parasitic activity. So the two, gosh, we could just go on and on. They just go hand in hand. Oh, and Natalie, always, I'm so glad Natalie brought this up. In that B6 toxicity. So, liver is a B12 focus, but if your healthy women have strong filters and making sure that you're making decisions for your body based on where you're at becomes incredibly important. And anytime we have that we're struggling with something, looking at hydrochloric acid and our levels of hydrochloric acid and bile function needs to be that focus to get us to the point where our bodies can properly metabolize. So I'm so glad you brought that up, Natalie. Healthy women have strong filters and make the decisions for where their body is at right now. And when we do that, we also hold our power. When we hold our power, we're keeping better balance between our gut and our voice. And when we do that, parasitic activity clears up. I've seen it. I have seen women tap into the power of their voice and not have to do all of these parasite cleanses because they brought natural balance, natural rhythm back to their body and got comfortable with the power of their voice, and that increased the power of their digestion and their hydrochloric acid. You might, I don't know. Tell me this for those of you that are still on. Would you be interested if I taught a class on and we focused on a spring parasite, what I do to make sure I'm set up for the entire year and go through that process? Leave a comment, and if we've got enough people, it will be a paid class because it takes a lot of prep to get ready for classes. Leave a comment in the comment section, and I could put that together. We definitely, like, our bed is being delivered today. We've been on an air mattress for weeks and our bed is being delivered today, and we're both so excited. And so, my life is I'm getting more settled here in the house. We made dinner last night. It was glorious. Okay, I'm seeing enough. Yes, it is. It's a different approach. It's my own approach. It's not one that you'll see other places. And there are some very different things that we do in it, like, the power of your voice and the journaling exercises to figure out where am I leaking my power that go along with supporting parasitic infestation. Some people don't see that as a part, but they are. I saw it with women that when they tap into the power of their voice, they didn't have to focus on as many of the parasite things because they tapped into a natural ebb and flow in their body. So I am seeing a lot of people say, yes, I will be putting this together. Let's all do this because you know that Shelley will be the one that's helping me. Thank you, Shelley. But let's create this together. These are my favorite kind when it's a spontaneous create, and the bigger the business grows, the less that happens. And so I'm super excited. Like, what a beautiful gift you guys have given me today. And that I love to create in the moment what is currently needed. Not just what I'm thinking about people need, but what's needed. And I agree with you. I think this is needed. And I do have a very different approach to it. And it's a more holistic approach versus just doing a parasite cleanse, backing off of the parasite cleanse, tapping into the power of your voice, and setting up your body with bile, getting rid of stored iron, looking at your blood work kind of thing. So, oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Well, it's been delightful to be with you today. And we have created, you and I, healthy women are creative women. Thanks for helping me create. And you were the synergy today for a class to be created. And I will get it done as quickly and as efficiently as possible, um, so that we can get started on this right away. Because now is the time, not 3 months from now, but now is the time. Now, oh, I've got, I need to, I need to reset my notifications. My kids are going on text again. I love it though. I love it. So thanks for joining me. Keep an eye out, and I will let you know the second that that class is ready, and we'll post links on all of my social media stuff. Have the best day. Bye-bye. Thanks for being with me today. You lifted me. Thank you.